Hi everyone, it's Tawney. Ignore the water stain that I legit just got on my shirt the second before I started filming. My soda is leaking all down the sides. It's just condensation, but it is all wet and it got me all wet. So, yeah, so just ignore that. I wanted to sit down and sort of do like a chit-chat, get ready with me kind of thing. That's lately been my thing. I've had a hard time filming because I feel like half of it's like I'm uninspired, I don't have time, I have other things going on that are taking my focus. Like, excuse. And I feel like an excuse can be valid, but it can also be like just an excuse for you to not do anything. You know what I mean? Like, I have been busy, I have had stuff going on, good and bad. I've been trying to exercise, so some nights that I have time to film a video is an exercise night. So Tuesday, Friday, I exercise. So I want to keep my commitment to that because makeup is just playtime. It's just makeup. I don't make money off of any of my videos. So I don't feel like it's really something I have to commit to. I probably should if I want to keep doing YouTube videos consistently, but at the current moment it's just kind of a play thing that I do to make me feel better, to I don't know, give me a little bit of joy in whatever. So yeah, I did have excuses. I don't feel like excuses are any reason to not follow through, but that's just I just wanted to tell you guys that I'm not sure. I think I'm going to use some new makeup, but not a whole face of new makeup, because I kind of want to save that to a whole face of new makeup type video. I think I just kind of want to play with makeup and just kind of chit chat. I want to leave a trigger warning on here. And I have to say, ever since I found this out, I've been kind of annoyed because I've noticed it that nobody does it the right way. So if you didn't know, trigger warnings are actually supposed to say what they're warning you about. And maybe this isn't right, but this is just what I've seen on the internet, so to me it's right. But so for a trigger warning to be an actual warning to people, it should say, trigger warning, we're going to be talking about mental health, not just trigger warning. Because what's the trigger warning? Somebody could have a trigger warning on claustrophobia, they could have a trigger warning on darkness or scary things or jump scares, I kind of do that. You could have a trigger warning on flashing lights, if you have epilepsy and things like that. You could have a trigger warning on things that happen trauma in your childhood, things that I don't really want to say full out here in the video, but if you don't say what the trigger warning is, how are people supposed to know what they're not supposed to be what if I think, oh, I'm fine, I can watch this, and then bam, they talk about something that happened to me that I've been pushing back because it's so traumatizing to me. The more I notice it, the more it bothers me. So I want to leave a trigger warning that I have been having some mental health issues. I've been feeling depressed, down, anxious, all of that. I'm not going to talk about weight or anything. I'm going to try to not talk about that in this episode. Yeah, in this video. So I think you should be good there if that's something that triggers you. I think you'll be okay to watch this. I might mention exercise, but I'm just going to keep it, I exercise, and that's just kind of it. But I do want to say that if you're going through a rough time or you're struggling, please don't watch this video. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I feel that as a social worker and as a personal person that's dealing with stuff like that, I think it's super important to reach out and seek the help that you need or the help that you think you might need. I think it's important to find people that we can talk to when we're feeling down, when we might be at the end of the road, when we don't know how to solve a problem. We need to have people in our corner to help us find solutions to that, whether it's family, therapists, doctors, friends, whatever it might be. So I just encourage everyone, if you need help, if you need to talk to somebody, if you need more resources on what you're kind of in the middle, you just kind of maybe I need a therapist, maybe I don't, maybe I'm okay, and I'm just it's just a little episode, I'll be fine. I just want to say the new suicide hotline number is 988. So please call or text them if you have any thoughts. If you know of anybody who has recently said, hey, I feel this way, I'm going to do this, or I don't think I can do this, I'm going to follow through with whatever, that as people in general, we have an obligation to protect human life and whatever, you know, however we can. So if you're going through it, if your friend's going through it, if your family member's going through it, coworker, whatever is going through it, and you feel like they are jeopardizing their health and their livelihood, definitely send them a message or give them a call, because you don't want that like burden of that guilt of after that, like, I should have done something, because that's kind of it's a very heavy burden to carry, and like people shouldn't have to do that. So I just want to specify that. So we're going to jump into the video now. So like I said, if anything mental health wise concerns you, it upsets you, it triggers you and causes things to be worse for you, please don't watch this video. I'm just talking about myself and putting on makeup. There are plenty other videos of me talking about things, talking about makeup, putting on makeup, that you can watch all of those. There's other people on YouTube that you can watch that just put on makeup. So maybe check them out, just so you don't have to like sit here uncomfortable just to watch me put on some makeup, because like I'm not that good. So I have been like, this week has been one of the worst weeks. Like it's mainly just job stuff. Like I've had other stressors, but like I feel like it's normal to me. But this week has been like unbelievably stressful for me. We've been having some issues. Oh, I just lost a drop of this primer like straight down to the floor. At least it didn't land on me. I'm using the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer with 4% niacinamide. So work has been like miserable, essentially. We've been having like, where I work at, we have teen moms that go to school there. It's like an alternative education program. So we watch their children while they get their education, while they can graduate and everything. Like we help provide that like missing piece that they need in order to keep their education going. I think it's a really good program. It's very necessary, like no matter where you live and like who you are and everything. And I'm going in with the Halo Glow liquid filter thingy from e.l.f. So we've been having some issues with the teenagers being teenagers, you know, nothing new, nothing we haven't seen before. We've had issues with like a different set of these girls, like with when we had a whole different group of girls, we had the same issue. It just kind of like cycles as the girls move on. You know, like this group of girls that we have now is not the same that we like have had like 2, 3, 4 years ago. So it definitely like shifts, changes, you know, you graduate. And we were trying to figure out how to deal with the issue. And like our problem where I work at is like communication is such a big problem for us, like as staff, all the way from like the company that oversees our company. Like we have the company that pays our bills, that we like use their building, we pay rent, whatever. And then there's the company that like funds our programs, oversees like how we're running everything, like make sure everything's up to code. We're following protocol for the state and for federal government things, blah, blah, blah. I'm going in with the L'Oreal True Match Foundation in Neutral Light and 1. And we were like I said, communication is a big thing that we kind of struggle with. And like anytime I tell anybody about my problems, anytime I bring up anything to anyone outside of my work, they're like, man, if you just communicate. And I'm like, bro. And I'm really bad at communication myself personally. And it's been something I've been trying to work on the last couple weeks. I get it. I understand their issues. I understand concerns and trouble, and like from both points. I feel like that's kind of like my whole thought process, just as being Tawney. I'm going to go in with the, the Makeup Revolution IRL Filter Finish Soft Matte Concealer in C2. So I, as a social worker, and just basically as me, it's kind of like my adopted principle that I follow in my own daily life. I think that we should all take into consideration everyone's point of view, everyone's perspective, how everyone feels about everything, all of that stuff. Like, you have to meet the person where they are. You have to be able to understand how they feel about things, how they handle things, how they understand things. Like, you have to get on their level to be able to communicate with them. Like, it kind of, you have to do more than just listening and talking, you know? There's way more to communication than just like talking and hearing their answers and responding and everything. So I'm trying to be super understanding about every person involved in all of this, every issue, every concern. Like, I understand how you feel, but I also understand how they feel. I think, you know, they're right, but then you're also right in a different perspective. And like, it kind of makes it difficult because as the social worker, I try and hold everyone as like I always say, I respect you until you give me a reason not to respect you. So like, I will back you up. I will defend you. I will like support you until you've shown to me that you don't need it or you don't want it or it's a waste of my time, because you can only help people who want to help themselves. And I feel like that even goes as far as like supporting someone or helping to like advocate for them, things like that. Like basically that's my job as a social worker, is just advocating for people's needs who might not be able to advocate for them themselves, which essentially is those teenagers that, you know, are going to school there. They're still under their parents' like reins. They're still having to listen to principals and teachers and like any kind of, you know, superintendent, anything like that, anybody with the Board of Education, like all of that stuff. So I am trying to be very open-minded. It's something that I've been working on in my like personal life for a long time. It's just being more understanding to other people and trying to meet them where they are, because it's something that is easy to say. It's easy to like tell you in college, hey, as a social worker, you have to do these things. And I'm like, great, you told me how to do it. I know how to do it. And then I go to do it and I'm like, I don't know how to do this. And it turned into like a whole big thing. I really don't want to get into like too much. I just kind of want to say like, it stresses me the F out. I have been yelled at. I have been, you know, just talked to about the situation. I have talked with both parties to see like what point of view, like how they see it, how this other person sees it, seeing like, okay, well, you're right, but then you're wrong here. But then the other person, well, they're right here, but they're not right here. And I feel like it is really like putting pressure on me, because I feel like I'm almost caught in the middle in a way in like this whole situation. Just went in with the L'Oreal True Match powder in warm. Yeah. I don't know. It's W1. That helps. I'm pale, so just think the lighter shades, and that's me. But okay, we're gonna go in with some other palettes today. No, not this one. The other two. I'm trying to use different things that I don't always use sometimes, because makeup does expire, and I sometimes ignore that. So I'm gonna be using the Alamar Cosmetics. I don't even know what this is. The Hydrating Complexion Trio. It is the light to medium light one or whatever, but it looks like this. So I'm just going to go in with, I think I'm just going to go in with this shade and just go all over. Maybe go in with the light shade under my eyes, but I don't know. We'll see. So each day has just been more and more and more stressful. Like last week we had kids falling and hurting themselves. First day kid fell, and like, it wasn't really my fault, but I was like the staff in the room to like do the incident report, talk to the parent, figure out what happened, get the story from everybody, talk to my boss about it. Like, I was the person in charge. I do not like being the person in charge. I am not a leader. I am a follower. I'm like my dog. He is a follower. And whenever we're together, we don't know what to do, because he wants to follow, I want to follow. I'm like, who's going to go? And I usually end up leading because he's a dog. So I don't like doing that. So that really stressed me out last week. I was worried about how it was going to play out, if the kid was going to be okay, if we were going to have any like concerns, if we were going to have to do anything like more than the situation called for. Like, I've never been in a situation like that, so I just didn't know what to do in general. So then I'm just like, how do we resolve this? And like, what do we do? Like, I don't know. And the parent was there during the whole ordeal. So like, I feel like it was easier than if it had been like, I was the only person in the room, this happened, I'm the staff, like, you weren't doing enough, you know, whatever. Like, it would be different if that were the case. But thankfully for me, it was not, because I would have been really stressed out if that were the case. This is really pretty. I'm not gonna lie. This is really nice. I am gonna go into that lighter shade because I want to. So we had that, and like every day a kid, like, luckily as the week went, less and less, like, the injuries were a little less severe than what they were the day before. So that kind of helped. That, like, at least if you're getting hurt, it's not as bad as what, like, day one was, you know? Now I'm going in with the Alamar Cosmetics Color Up Blush Trio in Fair to Light. But, like, last week was stressful. And then this week comes, and, like, there's a bunch of problems between different staff and students, and, like, the students as a whole. And, like, it's just all jumbling up that, like, yesterday I had been talking with my boss about some things, and like, I didn't get yelled at or anything. It was just like the conversation itself was very stressful to me, that like, I felt like the pressure of everything in the like last little while had finally like put so much pressure on my shoulders that they just like dropped and everything just like caved in, and you know what I mean? Like when you're holding everything and like the last thing gets put on it and it just like on you, like that's how I felt. And I like cried in my, like went in my office and I cried, and I had, I swear to you, like 10 to 15 tissues left in my tissue box. I didn't realize it was that low until I like saw there was no more tissues. I used up every single tissue because I was sobbing so uncontrollably that like I was just like draining. Like I just like could not stop. It was like a full hour of just hysterical crying. Like I could not get past it, get through it. Like I just kept like, I would like try to like like calm down a little bit, and then another thing would come in my mind and I'd bam right back again. Like it just like waves, it just like kept coming and coming and coming. And I was like, you know, when you're in the wave pool at like a water park and you're in the part where you can't put your feet down to stand up without, you know, your head being covered and stuff, and the waves are coming and you're like, okay, I got through that wave. Okay, the next one hit. I'm not really like able to breathe very well now, but I'm managing. The next one comes, bam, you're underwater. The next one comes and comes and comes. And then finally you're able to make it back up again. And like, it took me hours to get back up after all of this had happened at work. I'm really trying not to cry. I cried so much that night. Then I cried later that evening. Then I cried today a little bit. And I feel like I've gotten it out enough that I shouldn't cry, but the problem does make me want to cry. So like I talked it over with my friend, with my boyfriend, with my mom, and I was just like, you know, I don't know what to do. I don't like confrontation. So in my mind, when confrontation is involved, I instantly shut down. I go shaky. I go like, can't breathe, my mouth is dry, like every little thing that can happen with confrontation like hits me, and I just like can't handle it. And like I had tried to be the adult and the grown up and like talk to a student about one of the issues that was on hand, and I felt like I was like doing my job. Like I talked to a friend of mine, and he was like, you know, you're doing what you feel is best for the situation at hand right now. He's like, you saw an issue, you were staff, you took care, like you took the initiative to take care of it, whatever. I am not an initiative taker. I am not one to try and solve problems. I am one to say, here is my solution, like my opinion to the solution to another person that can then solve that problem from themselves. Like I go to somebody else and I'm just like, here, you can deal with it. Because like there's plenty of other people at my job that will gladly take care of the problems. Not necessarily that they want to, but I know physically that like they can get it done. Like I know that like I have, you know, the faith that like they have the mentality to like say what needs to be said, talk to the person, blah, blah, blah. Whereas I am like a scared little like ant waiting to be stepped on. Like I just like, I don't know how to explain it in a metaphor like that. But so it like, I just felt like I wasn't supposed to, I shouldn't have done it. But like my boss had talked to me and she's like, you know, you were trying to go through it with her. You were trying to explain things, trying to like talk them out of the negativeness that they were feeling, but push them toward the positive to like resolve the issue, get past it, just move on. Like I just felt like I was at that point, even while things were going like chaotic. That's just where I was like, I just want to get around it. I just want to get past it and just like move on, and just like, I don't want to be in the middle of a thunderstorm. I want to be the rainbow at the end when the sun's coming out and like things are wet, but you're like recovering and everything. Like I want to do that, you know? Wow, this, who taught me to do brows? Because I need to be fired. Pretty sure it was just, you can teach brows online, I feel like, but everyone's brows are so different and everyone's techniques are so different. And the way like you can put more pressure or less pressure technically, that like, not technically, but like in the scenario technically, that like it can have an effect on the way that your brow products turn out and the way your brows look and everything, that I feel like everyone does their brows differently. That any influencer who tries to show you how to do their brows, any YouTuber, TikToker, whatever, it's just a suggestion. It's not an actual, like, this is exactly how you do them step by step. Like, because everyone's brow shapes are different. And like, unless you have the exact same brow shape and you have the exact same hand techniques and everything, it's not going to happen. I'm using the Essence Make Me Brow mascara and the CoverGirl retractable little pencil thingy. I never talk about my brow products, but that's what I'm using today. I've been trying to kind of use up a lot of my brow products just to kind of wean down the collection that I have. I do like this retractable brow pencil thing from CoverGirl, but I do like others better, although this one is in like my top 5. Like, it's pretty high up there. I found that the ColourPop one, I don't know if it's brunette or like soft brown, dark brown, whatever they call it, but there's one in that I found is like the best shade for my brows. This looks pretty good, but that one is like the best shade to work for me. Sorry for the people mowing outside. I think it's my uncle across the street, but he should be done soon. But, or maybe not. I don't know. He has a pretty big yard. I like the ColourPop one. It's one of my favorites. I like the LA Girl, whatever that one's called, the like really cheap $4 one or whatever. I really like that one. The CoverGirl one is okay. The Revlon one I've tried is okay. I've tried one that's from L'Oreal, but it's like super, super, super thin. Not really a big fan of that one just because it's too thin. And like, I have to fill in a lot. Like, I don't have to draw on brows, but I do have to fill in a good bit. So that kind of matters there. But I do like the e.l.f., the white one that's like $2. That one is like one of my top favorites. Between that and a ColourPop are like my number ones. I picked up, who is she? When I explain it to you, you'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. TJ Maxx had this on sale for $35, and my boyfriend was like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. And I was like, listen, I don't know I can't like not show you the mirror and show you what you're seeing because of the palette and like the way it's positioned. I got this one, and I think it's from 2022 or 2021, so it's like not too old, that like I feel okay. It's the Artistry palette, the Mothership Mega Celestial Nirvana, whatever that's called, whatever that means. There's so many words to explain what this is, and it like confuses me, but whatever. But they had this for $34.99, and I was like debating, and I was just like, you know, it's in great condition. It's not that old. It hadn't been like, the box looked good. It wasn't tampered with. Like, I just felt like safe enough to use it. So I kind of explained to him, it's like originally like $70, $80. And he's like, oh, well, that's a really good deal. And I was like, yes, that's why I'm buying it. So I bought it. So I'm sorry if this is in the way, but I legit can't move it down to like not be in the way. And if I move it up, it like gets more in the way. So it's just going to be here covering up my water stain. So yeah. Okay. So like everything has been like slowly building at work this week with all of those problems, that then I like talked to my boss, and then some things came to my attention, trying to be very vague with you about this just because like it's work stuff. So it's kind of hard to like discuss other, you know, whatever, confidentiality, privacy, things like that. So I don't want to blast people on the internet. Like, I'll blast YouTubers and celebrities because they can like not do what they're doing, because it's all unethical most of the time. But like this, I just don't want to like, I'm not going to do that. So it had like come to my attention that like someone I consider to be a very close friend was like, it was sort of like, they're terrible at their job, they shouldn't be here, we don't want them here, kind of a thing. And like that had been building for a while, that like I feel like hearing it said out loud was enough to like light the fuse. That I like shut down for a good 5 to 10 minutes while I listened to like a conversation happen. I was like standing in between two people, and I just like stood there staring off into space as my brain was like slowly getting the water ready to come to my eyes and come out. Like I felt like it was like things were building, and I was just waiting for the aftermath, you know? So once the conversation had ended, I like went back to my office. I was sort of mad, sort of upset, kind of disappointed, like overwhelmed was kind of the big feeling. I was like, the best way to explain it, I was just so overwhelmed by all the emotions, by all the drama, by everything going on, by everything piling and piling and piling, that I like started crying and could not stop crying. And I was just like, this shouldn't really bother me the way it bothers me. But I'm starting to think it was sort of like a, like I had defended the person that was kind of like, I want to say the one that was being told was bad. I'm trying to explain it, like, nobody's like a bad guy, but like the one that was said, like, not doing very well at the job, whatever. And like, I became very close with this person. I defended them nonstop. I was like advocating on their behalf when they weren't in the room. Like, I was really trying to be like a good friend, but also a good social worker. Like, I feel like it was more underneath my social worker mentality was coming out, and like helping to push the words out to like help me defend and advocate and whatever. So like, I felt like in that moment, it was just the biggest, like, I knew it was thought about. I don't know why I have both eyes closed. Like, how am I supposed to see to blend? But it was sort of like, I knew it was coming, but then once it came, it was like a realization that like, this is how it is. This is how people feel, whatever. Like, this is how the situation is. Like, it was a blunt, firm, and I was like so sad about it. And like, I came home after work and talked to my mom about it, and I was just like, I'm so hurt because I feel like it's not so much a dig on me. Like, I could say that about certain situations, whatever. Like, saying that doesn't cause anything bad on my behalf, I don't feel like, because it's not about me. It's not my problem. I didn't cause anything. It's just, I'm involved in the problem, essentially, that like, it just like hurt me so much that like, I think it was more, I'm sad that the situation is the situation. Like, it's not so much that like, I'm upset that things were said and they, don't like certain people don't like each other and like blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't think it was so much that. I think it was just more that like, I didn't want it to, I don't know. I'm like losing my train of thought because I'm just like so overwhelmed with everything. Like, this all happened yesterday on a Wednesday and it's a Thursday now, and I'm just like barely getting through. Yesterday, I like struggled big time. That like, you'd think it was a Thursday because that's usually how I am on a Thursday, just in general, just from like the wear and tear of the week. That like, the more I do, the more I have to help with, the more kids I'm around. Kids really wear me out. I mean, I need to get that spoolie out. My brows are like, I'm like a big, I don't know what is going on. I haven't done my makeup in a hot minute, and clearly I do not know how to do my brows. This brow looks good, but then like over here, it kind of looks like there's like a bald patch, and there should not be a bald patch. I haven't touched my brows in a while to like tweeze, pluck, nothing. Like, I've just left them go because I'm getting my hair done soon, so I don't care. It hasn't looked bad enough to bother with, so I'm not bothering with it, if that, makes sense. So I just like, I felt like, I was trying my best to defend this person, to work with this person, to be better, to do better, whatever. Like, I was really trying to help build them up. So almost, I'm wondering, like, in the back of my mind, if it's one of those things that, like, I felt like I wasn't doing enough to help this person. So it was just like, by you saying that about this person, and by me being involved with helping with this person and being a friend and whatever, it is now like, you're the problem. You're the one that can't do anything. You couldn't help her to make her fixed or whatever. And it like sucked me dry, sucked the life out of me. Like, I just couldn't, like, it was too much to handle, too much. And I just like, I don't know. I was just like, I need to take a step back from this. I can't be involved in this. I don't want to like discuss the issue anymore. I don't want to be involved in decision making. I don't want to have to be the bad guy to tell people things that might hurt feelings or make anyone's feelings hurt. I don't want to have to like put down my foot but like, I've never liked being like that. I don't like doing that. I want to do that because I want to do that, not because I'm being told I have to. Because I'm not confrontational, I'm not a leader. It's just not in me to like be the bad guy. And I've always said this. I've told coworkers over the years that like, if you have any bad news to tell people, you have to do it. I do not want to do it. Just never. No matter the situation, whatever. Like, no. It's just, it makes me very anxious. And like, I have been like struggling, like even from Monday, like I forget what all went, like I honestly can't remember anything past yesterday, but like everything has just been like slowly building and building and building. And like, I feel like I'm doing what I need to. I'm using all of the browns in this eyeshadow palette. No surprise to anybody, right? Raise your hand in the comment section. Use a little hand risen emoji thing if you knew I was going to use browns. If you predicted I was going to use browns, because you know me. That's just what I do. I should have done something more colorful since I'm just staying at home, but I just wanted to test out the quality of the shadows, and honestly, I think it's pretty good. I really like this inner corner shadow that I'm using. I think it's really pretty. It's sort of like a pearly color. It's leaning more like pinkish, but it's still like just a kind of a plain silver, I guess, but it leans pink, which is sort of how this gold is looking on me, even though it's not really like intentionally. It doesn't look like it should in the pan, but it is. Like the brown leans a little purplish, and then this gold right here looks the same way, that I'm like, well, it makes the look good. Like, it reminds me of the burgundy bar. Oh my gosh, I got it. Without having to look at it, I got it. It's the burgundy bar. It reminds me of that, where like some of the brown shades look more purple than brown. This looks lighter on camera than it does in person, and I actually like it on camera better. Like, I think it looks good both ways, but like I prefer it over there than over here. I don't know. So I have been just like, it like really took a lot out of me yesterday, and like I just kind of decided I'm not doing it. I'm not dealing with this. I don't want to deal with this. I'm just going to keep to myself, do my own thing, stay in my own lane, not get involved. Like, if you have a problem, you deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to like have to deal with it. Your problems are your problems, and they're not my problems. I do not have 99 problems, nor do I need 99 problems. So you don't need to share one of those 99 with me. You can keep all 99 and figure it out. I'll help you through it, but I'm not going to take your problems and make them mine. I'm not going to be like Leslie Knope in the 98, 97 meetings on March 31st that shouldn't have been a real date, but was. I'm not going to be like Leslie Knope and take everything over for Ron Swanson because he doesn't want to deal with people or do the meetings or anything. Although technically in her defense, she only dealt with the one problem and she didn't actually do anything about it. She just got chained to a gate. So I think I'm going to use the Maybelline Glass Spray Finishing Spray. In theory, it sounds really pretty, but nobody ever talks about it, so I don't really feel like it's that good. I mainly just use it to wet a brush to put glitter and shimmer on and make it more impactful because I have it, so why not use it? My arms are not long enough to spray from a spray bottle that mists all over my face without getting this of my face. Like, my hair's not super wet, but I've done this before with like a setting spray where my hair like up here was completely soaked. And I don't know if it's just the way, like the direction I spray in, the way that my arm holds it, the direction that I like angle it, or whatever, that like what it is, but I always end up like, hair's drenched. I got a shower. Like, not trying to get a shower while I'm doing my makeup. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Hydrating Core Lip Shine in, you guessed it, Ecstatic. It's the one that's supposed to be the Clinique Black Honey. I think that's what it's called. The dupe. I found it at my local CVS last time I was there, and I was like, you know what? I'm buying it. I want to try it. It's not my thing, not my formula, not my shade, but we're going to try it anyway because I had a coupon. So, you know me and my CVS coupons. We can do some damage. Okay, love e.l.f.'s new sticker thing. I think it's amazing. The fact that it's just like a tiny little loop instead of like a giant big box and a package. Eco-friendly princess over here loves that. That's my status username thing on Animal Crossing. It smells gross. It really smells gross. It's easy to get it where it's not supposed to go. Get it off, forget it. Forget it. Okay, I think that actually goes well with the eye look because it is dark and moody, but at the same time, it was like shifting purple a little bit. And this is purple. I like it. I think it's pretty. It's very 90s. Like, pair it with like a dark brown lip liner that might be a little shade darker than this. Ooh, perfect 90s lip. I like it, but it's also it's not traditionally my thing. So there's that. Yeah, I don't feel like this is not... I think the eye look might be slightly too dark, and then the lips are just too dark that it's like, I'm like an edgy, grungy 90s girl. But yeah, I feel like, definitely feel very grungy right now. I feel like that's definitely not the vibe I was going for, but the vibe I ended up with. So I'm just like, I just needed to vent, get it out, tell you about this, that just like, there's drama. I flipped out, had a meltdown, got really sad about it. I'm staying out of it, and now I'm like sad. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of put this video out there that like, we all struggle. I'm a social worker. I'm sort of kind of a therapist, but not really. I struggle. Therapists need therapists. So just know that like, even you, the high schooler, the influencer, the person that works a 9-to-5 job, the person with the family who's a stay-at-home mom, the dad that's like struggling with their identity or with helping their kids with their identity, the dad that's trying to do everything to cover for the parent, like anyone in between, it happens, it's normal, and it's okay to reach out for help. So thank you for watching my video today. I really enjoyed sitting down, doing makeup, filming a video, talking to you guys. I feel like it really made me feel better, really helped me. I really like the community that I have here on YouTube, the support you guys have given me throughout the years. I think it's been really helpful to me, to help me keep going, to help me film videos, to help me just personally and like mentally with all of this, that like keeps me grounded, keeps me sane, keeps me here. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please check out my other videos. I've done Animal Crossing theme. I've done new makeup nonsense bingo. I haven't done that in a long time. I haven't filmed an anti-haul or anything like that in a long time. Haven't really felt motivated to do that because it kind of dawned on me, I haven't been buying like any makeup. So I filmed those and I was like, oh yeah, I like this, this, and this, and I don't buy a thing. And then I'm like half a fraud, half just like, you know, waste. But like, I have plenty of other content. I have lots of Halloween content, lots of trying different makeup techniques. That's been like my favorite thing to film lately, within the past couple months, you know. This year's definitely been slower for YouTube. I had a big hit, like if you've seen previous videos, I don't even know what I've posted because I film a lot of videos and just throw them away because I don't really feel like they're worth posting. I feel like I complain about the same things over and over and over again, and I know that gets old. But like, I've had some issues on Wattpad. I've had struggles here on YouTube, which is my creativity, that all of my hobbies have taken a giant hit this year since January, that I have just been struggling with the creativity and motivation to get any kind of like form of those art projects, of the art of those things out, and just like make a video, even if I don't post it, write something, even if I don't post it or share it. Like, even that is a hard struggle for me right now. So I'm really working on getting back into it, finding my rhythm, getting past all of the trauma and the struggle that I've been put through over the past couple months, especially on Wattpad, and like really trying to just get back to what I love and doing what makes me feel happy. So, you know, yeah, that's where we are. So stay tuned for more content. Hoping to get this out to you soon. Happy Mother's Day if you celebrate that. I'm here in the US, so I do, at least, because I love celebrating it. Like, I don't see why not. You know, buy your mom a flower, give it to her, say Happy Mother's Day. What's the harm in that? Unless your mother doesn't like flowers. But, you know, what's the harm in that? So if you celebrated, Happy Mother's Day. If not, happy weekend. But thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Ring the notification bell down below so you don't miss my next videos or anything I post in between. Take care of yourself, guys, and I will see you then in the next one. Bye.